Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto, and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the second round of the 1954 season, the Indianapolis 500. It was held on the 41st of May. It had 70 entries, with 33 of them taking part in the race, and out of those, 14 retired for various reasons. The race consisted of 200 laps, completed in 3 hours, 49 minutes and 17 seconds. Jack McGrath started the race from pole with Jimmy Daywalt in second, Jimmy Bryan third, Johnny Thompson fourth, and Chuck Stevenson in fifth. Bill Vukovich won the race. Jimmy Bryan finished second, 1 minute 9.95 seconds behind. Jack McGrath crossed the line in third, 1 minute 19.7 seconds behind. Troy Ruttman gave his car to Dwayne Carter, who finished the race in fourth, 2 minutes 52.68 seconds behind. And rounding off the top 5 was Mike Nazaruk. He was 3 minutes 24.55 seconds adrift. 1 minute 4.04 seconds was the fastest lap, and it was posted by Jack McGrath. So we're back at the famous Indianapolis Speedway, and I'm kind of growing tired of having to say the same old things over and over again. But unfortunately, there's not much more to say about this circuit. It has 4 high-speed banked corners, 2 very long straights, 2 short straights. Speed and the ability to slipstream are very important here, and that's kind of it really. Now I only need to repeat that about 5 or 6 more times. Yay me. Alright, so here we are in qualifying for the Indianapolis 500, and our first lap is a 1:08.8. Hopefully we can improve a bit on that, since we are 4 seconds down on Hawthorne's pole time, and indeed we improve, although not by much, a 1:08.4, so about 4/10 of a second faster, and finally a 1:08.1, which still isn't quite where we should, but unfortunately I cannot go too fast through the corners for some reason, and here are the past Indianapolis 500 winners. But yeah, I will be struggling quite a lot through the corners, and you'll see how much in fact real soon. Anyway, we have Fangio on pole, Gonzalez second, Trintignant third, Mike Hawthorne is fourth, and Hans Hermann, who is replacing Hermann Lang, is fifth, Farina seventh, Manzo eighth, Umberto Malioli is ninth, Jean Berra 10th, Ascari in 11th in his Lancia, Sterling Moss in the green Maserati 12, Mantovani 13th, 14th is Onofre Marimon, Prince Bira 15th, Villoresi is 16th, Eli Bayol 17th, Roberto Mieres 18th, Andre Pilet 19th, and Andy Higgs down in 20th. So, here we are at the Indianapolis 500 once again. This is going to be an interesting race. This is where we'll see properly how fast the car can be on the straight and how slow it is in the corners, even in these corners. And that was quite a okay start. However, the two Maseratis kind of tried to do a pincer maneuver, and I had to back out of it. So we are still in second place, 20th place, sorry. Cannot read anymore. And there you have it. You can already see how slow I am through the corners. Although Eli Bayol has lost control of his car and he went off. And there is another Simca, which is that of Jean Berra. Anyway, so we are now up in 18th, but you saw how slow I am, and you'll see later on even better. But now we are taking a look at a replay of the start. Again, I tried to get past the two Maseratis in front of me, but I couldn't quite really pull it off the way I wanted to, so I had to hold back a little bit as we come through turn 1 here. And not a lot seems to be happening at the moment, although we did saw quite a few cars. And this is Mike Hawthorne trying to make a maneuver on Hans Hermann. However, it didn't quite work out for him, and he is out of the Indianapolis 500 now. And there were a few Maseratis there losing control of their car as we come to start lap 2, and Jean Bera overtakes us quite easily. Now on the straight part I'm quite fast again, but as we come into the second corner, I try to go as wide as possible to try to keep the momentum going. However, it's just not enough. I cannot go as fast as the car could through the corners. Here again on the straight I'm very fast. I pass Jean Bera, I'm closing in on André Pilet. However, the moment we reach the corner I have to back off quite a lot in order to make the car turn, otherwise it would just go straight. The understeer in this car is absolutely atrocious. We're coming around to finish lap 3, and you saw one of the Ferraris and Luigi Villoresi overtook me quite easily. I'm trying to have a look on the inside there. We're going pretty wide into turn 1. However, that's not really going to work, obviously. Again, I have to back out of the maneuver because I cannot keep the car at speed through the corners. And Eli Bayol overtakes me as well, so we drop down into 16th now. 17th as Sergio Mantovani drives through with his Maserati, and there's another Maserati, that of Prince Bira, behind us coming in quickly. Lap 6 and Jean Bera is out of the race, so we will move up into 15th, yes. Sergio Mantovani is now about 5 seconds up the road, whilst Prince Bira is right behind us, so as we come through this corner I managed to keep him behind, and we now have a look at Jean Bera, who tries to overtake Sterling Moss. However, it doesn't really work out for him. He crashes into the wall and loses his front right wheel. And here we are trying to out drag Prince Bira. We managed to, and the car is very good on the straights. If this were a very long drag race, I would obviously win, but unfortunately there are corners, so Prince Bira goes in front of me again through the corner, and we have Onofre Marimon right behind us again, who overtakes us quite easily there. Again, I tried to stay as close as possible, but it was kind of no use really. Lap 8, coming through the final corner, and we see André Pilet had something going wrong for him as he was very slow. And here we have a look at Roberto Mieres, who has a suspension problem, and he's back down at the upper corner of the screen. So we are now on lap 9, still trying to catch up to Onofre Marimon. Doesn't really work out, obviously. Lap 13, chasing after Umberto Maglioli, who overtook us at one point or another. He is now 5.5 seconds ahead, and we are now looking at Robert Manzo, who is coming around, loses control of his Ferrari, drives into the wall, and loses his front right wheel. So that's the second similar crash in the race. But yeah, I'm really struggling, and on lap 15 I finally managed to catch up to my teammate Hans Hermann, and it looks like we'll be able to overtake him. So it feels good to know that I'm not the only one who's struggling to control the car. You saw clearly that he was understeering as well. He was using the barriers to help him get around the corner, so that's about how good the car is. In a corner anyway. Yeah, it is going to be a very fun season, as we now take a look at Maurice Trintignant, who is trying to overtake the Maserati. Doesn't quite work out, loses control of the car, crashes, drives into the barrier, and loses his front right wheel. That's the third such incident. And we are on lap 17th, chasing after Juan Manuel Fangio. Incidentally, we moved up into 13th, as we now have a look at Nino Farina, who loses control of his Ferrari. and drives up that little dirt mound right in front of the onlooking viewers. I'm sure they are trying to guess what he is thinking and why he's there, and it looks like he wants to drive on, although I'm not sure why he doesn't back out of that, because there is no real place to go. He shouldn't be there. That's not a place where cars should be. That's where the pit crews generally stand. What is Farina doing? Well, that is one way to end your race. And we are about to be lapped by Alberto Ascari in his Lancia. I think he's actually leading the race at this point, so good, well done for him. And yes, if you're wondering, I actually gave him room. I actually slowed down in order to help him lap me, and there goes a Simca Gordini who laps me. I'm not exactly sure who it is. Lap 36, and trying to go as fast as possible through the corner, and the car is starting to slow down. I have no idea what's happening. What on earth? What? Well, there's your answer. The engine went. Great. So that's the end of the race. Believe it or not, that's the end of the race. And here is a replay coming through the penultimate corner. And there we have it. The engine had enough of this circuit, I guess. Not really sure what to make of it. Now the problem is I don't know if this is a one-off occurrence, or is the engine in the Mercedes unreliable, and should I expect this to happen more often during the season? I hope not. I really hope not. But this is kind of concerning, to be honest. Not only is the car very slow through corners, it also has an unreliable engine, which isn't very helpful at all. Didn't expect this. Didn't expect this at all. And here we have a look at a replay of Onofre Marimon, who's having problems with his brakes. Then later on in the race, Sterling Moss in the green Maserati also had some problems with his suspension and retired as well. Later still, Hans Hermann had suspension problems in his Mercedes and he retired, so no more Mercedes in the race. Prince Bira also has a problem with his engine. He doesn't have more. And he's coming through turn 3, I think. I'm not sure. No, that's actually turn 2. And rushing towards turn 3 now. And his engine finally gave up after smoking for half a lap. So now Prince Bira is out of the race. Now we have a look at Sergio Mantovani, who is also having problems with his engine. He's smoking, his engine's smoking. So that's 3 engine blowouts in one race, which is kind of concerning. This is Luigi Musso coming into the pits to retire due to a gearbox failure. Then we have Luigi Villoresi, who comes in to retire for no reason. And finally we have Juan Manuel Fangio, the person who is supposed to win this season, also coming in to retire for no apparent reason. And we are now looking at the man of the hour, Alberto Ascari, coming around to win the Indianapolis 500. And here are the race results. Ascari first, Bayol second, Gonzalez third, Malioli fourth, André Pilet 5th, with Gonzalez posting the fastest lap of the race as well. And here are the retirements. A lot of retirements. Well, I guess I kind of come to expect this at this point, so it shouldn't come as much of a surprise, really. But yeah, that was the Indianapolis 500. Again, I'm very worried. Was that engine failure a one-off situation, or should I expect that to happen more often during the season? I don't know. Hope not, really. Anyway, here are the career statistics. This was Andy's 35th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 2 pole positions, has set 8 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 22 races, all of them in the points, has 13 wins, 2 of them being at the Indianapolis 500, no wins at Monaco yet, has 3 championships in the bag, has scored 145 points, has retired 13 times, has experienced 739 out of 987 laps, has 4 bronze trophies, 2 silver trophies, 13 gold trophies, and as an extension, 14 podiums. And here we have a look at the championship standings. Jean Bera is still in the lead with Ascari and Pilet. Well, Jean Bera is sharing the lead with Ascari and Pilet, to be more precise. And everyone down to 8th place, which is held by Maurice Trintignant, has scored points. And Andy Higgs is in 11th at the moment, with no points and 2 retirements. And at the very bottom we have Hermann Lang and Hans Hermann, the 2 German drivers who drive for Mercedes, who will replace each other throughout the season. So in some races we'll see Lang, in others we'll see Hermann. But anyway, that is the end of the Indianapolis 500. Quite a concerning incident took place here, so not sure if I should expect more engine blowouts throughout the season, or if this was only a one-time occurrence. But anyways, that is it for this video. Don't forget to vote for next season's team, link is in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.